apologize. She lived with me every day. And I really made a mess of this beautiful little kid. All right. I'm done cussing, so I can put it on here. I ramble sometimes, so I made some notes just to try to keep it short. With time. It's not light out. We got plenty of time. But I'm supposed to say something good about both of these newlyweds. All right. Let's start with something that Evan needs to know right away. There's like, depending on how you look at it, what part of the country you're from, some use 2 words to say one, and some are like y'all. We're not going to say y'all. But there's words of wisdom. You can take it as 7 words or 8, depending if you say I'm or I am. Depends on how scared you are of your wife at the time. I'd say it in 7 and get it over with. But there's 7 words. Yes, dear. You were right. And I'm sorry. Now take me serious. My wife and I just had our 50th wedding anniversary in July. You gotta know those, if nothing else. You already do some things that I like that I use. I brought her flowers walking home from the Navy shipyard from being on a submarine. Tough guy coming up the street with my bow this big of flower, bringing them home. I had a friend lived upstairs, had a loudspeaker system. And he'd do, hey Dave, yelling at me coming up the hill. Coming up the street with your big, pretty flowers. And people could hear me all the way to the shipyard, half a mile away, that I was bringing. I had friends come, hey Dave, I hear you bringing flowers home for your wife. And so.
Oh, let him speak, let him speak.
Well, I have a tendency to ramble, I apologize.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
So that's why I brought these cards, because
Comedy act.
that's to keep me from rambling too much. So I got them. Let's be quick. So we'll try to get out of here at a decent time. All right. Let's open with Marissa. Okay. Marissa. Oh my word. First thing I got to do, Riss. Well, I got these people here. This doesn't embarrass you. But I have to make a confession. No, just kidding.
Oh, thank God.
I'm not confessing to nothing. I will say one of my most favorite things to do with this little girl of mine was to take her shopping. She's so wow, I almost said something, I don't know what it was.
Oh, that's Freudian slip.
It was an S word. I have no, I guess God must have told me not to say that. And, but she was so little. And I put her in the shopping cart, and we would go through and have these big stanchions in all the big stores, and they had the rubber around where if you ran into them with your shopping cart, we didn't miss one, did we? And I would take your brother with me. There were 2 little kids in there, 2 and 3 years old, and I'm going through this place like crazy and ramming into everything we possibly could. And then we get down to the front, and this one checkout girl, cute girl, she looked at me and she goes, they're so little, and there's only 2 of them. Well, she's little, and there's only one. And that's all you're ever going to have to hear. Evan, I should know that straight up. I heard her yelling today at Evan down in the side of the building.
Okay,
and
that
I'm
was
over
Andrew's
here
fault.
with my son, or my grandson, and he's going, I think I hear Marissa yelling, and she's yelling at Evan. And I go, he needs to get used to it.
Okay, Paul.
Then we'll skip to Evan. I'll get going, try to keep this down. Oh, and I did have a quote though.
Oh, God. Yeah?
And I always
Quote
screw it
the
up. But here's the quote. I'll let my wife help me. From her great-great-great-grandma.
Does she look like she has no
It's
idea
your
what he's talking
grandmother.
about?
Her great-great-grandma.
Oh, okay, yes.
You're old, but you're not that old.
I get that.
She's older than me. Oh.
She would always say, you two are as well paired as pigeons, and it would be a shame to ruin 4 people. So it's a good thing you found each other.
I've lived by that. It's true. And so that's your great-grandmother's tippy toes, great, all the way back to
Okay.
Moses, I think. But
The sun's coming up.
Grandma!
I didn't know we'd have hecklers at this. We're security. We can have security. We can have
What
alcohol.
happened to yes, dear, you are right and I'm sorry?
Okay. Let me find where I actually wrote something, because I'm done. I just forgot where I ended. Once I started getting heckled, once I got heckled by a wife, I said I was going to make her get even with me for something she wrote that made me cry.
Oh.
And so that part, it didn't make me cry, what I'm going to talk about now. It did make me throw up. This, you've all said so many parts of what I was going to talk about, how they're made for each other. I knew from the very first day, from things I'd heard about Evan, that we were things that, those of you know him and know me would have a really hard time to think that there's anything about he or I that might be a lot the same. And that scared me, because other people didn't know that, so much. She did. She told me in her letter today that she wrote me. And he said as much the same, that I knew these two were plugged together like nobody's business. And he did all the right things. It's empty anyhow, so I'm done. But I was sick since I was in my 40s. So they only knew the sick grandpa at home. And every day I was on all kind of weird stuff. I got kind of new parts and stuff, but that's cool. It kept me here. And it's been a tough ride. And we've talked about it. Just when she wanted me to do this, I said, okay, God willing, and that's about it. And we got there, baby. We got there. But what made me feel best is he was my hero. And I don't know if I could tell this without making an ass out of myself. But I had to spell times where I got some new plumbing and stuff, and a pacemaker. I was just falling over. I made some funniest things I ever missed. Being a clown, I missed all the times I passed out at cash registers at the CVS, and people tried to call an ambulance on me. We thought it was my blood sugar, and I said no, I was right there by all the big candy bars in front of the checkout counters. So I got a great big Milky Way, about that big, and $1 candy bars. So I get my blood sugar up, and then the second time it happened, I got one with almonds in it. And then I went, so then I find out that it's not that. Because when I crashed out in my cave at home, Evan had to come rush to my rescue. Because I failed out on the bed. She thought I was being my same smart self. I just fell out. She thought I was kidding. Then
I
she
thought he was kidding,
dead.
then I thought he was dead.
And then she started cheering. Oh no!
No, I
Then she
didn't.
started yelling.
Wrong.
She was yelling
I-
for Evan.
I started
thought she
screaming
was
Evan, and he
cheering.
goes,
He's finally
"I got this,
dead."
Grandma.
No, but,
He jumped in and
he came and he did all his. I almost wrote to the Boys Life scouting magazine in the back. They used to, when I was a scout, That's one of our things. If you did like save someone's life, we're a hero. He put it in the back of boy's life. I said, I should send Evan. Maybe he could finally get in the back of boy's life. But I knew then, and he was there for these guys if something did.
Yeah.
He's here, but I don't.
We love him.
Yeah, so when I knew that this kid that she totally approved of, I saw probably before she did, and things that reminded me of just things we liked. And I went, wow. I was the one that was dragging her around from when she was in diapers till she was 10 years old. I was like dragging her everywhere. So it's about time I got this monkey off my back. With the right guy in charge. Got the best monkey I ever knew. She was so cute, little monkey. Look at this. Get this meanest face you ever saw. Oh, you'll find that out for yourself. You already know. So with that, I remembered I have a microphone. Let's blow this pot stand. What do you think? Let's give these guys. I want to thank the mother and the father of this wonderful kid because they did a great job.
Yes, sirree.
Great job. Thank you.
Yeah,
You got a new daughter. I got a new grandson. That's a weird combination when you put it in that way, but it's a wonderful match. And one thing I want to do, and I'll shut the heck up and go home,
No, you're not.
is I want to put you to a challenge. With this being 50 years of your grandmother being married to somebody like me, it should be easy for you to have Evan for 50 years.
Yeah.
We've had 3 fights. You never saw it. And you saw reasons she probably should have shot her alive. And I lost all 3 of those fights. Because she knows where I sleep. That's one of them. And she's the kindest woman. And we taught this kid, all my kids, to love. This kind. The best. You got it at home? You've got it at home? God does mysterious things in mysterious ways. Put you guys together to make us even more proud of you than we already are. So
Indubitably.
hey, the rest of your years, be fun. You gotta have fun. If you're not, you made a mistake. But you already made this pact that you would stay forever.
We did the vow thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that whole thing.
Yeah, and it's on wood, so
All right, good.
we're done.
Yes.